Hi, I'm Benjamin Wood, and my research paper was on uncertainty reduction theory. Um, Working off two computers, so bear with me. Uncertainty reduction theory was first introduced by Charles Berger and Richard Calabrese in 1975. This theory is a theory within the interpersonal communication realm. Um, Really, URT, I'll refer to that in now and in later slides. Um, really, it just gets into relationships and reducing the uncertainty within the relationships to sort of secure a more certain future, if you will. The theory is on the forefront of interpersonal communication. Is really its own theory. A lot of other theories in interpersonal communication kind of have roots. This has some, but uh, sort of a few theories sort of pertaining to it, like attribution theory, etc. But really, URT is its own theory and really kind of a forerunner. Two types of uncertainty are cognitive and behavioral. Cognitive, dealing with the thinking process and the uncertainty there, and behavioral, sort of reducing uncertainty within the behavior realm. There are three strategies Berger talked about. First is passive, second is active, and lastly is interactive. Passive has two subunits. One is reactivity searching, and the second is disinhibition searching. Passive is just a pure observation. So an example found in Little John and Foss, the book. You as a student are in a classroom, and maybe there's a person or someone, an individual that you are interested in. So for a while, you purely observe them. First, reactivity to reduce uncertainty. You are observing to see their reactions to things. You're seeing how, if a professor asked them a question, how they would answer. If there was homework assigned last minute on a Friday afternoon, and how they react to that. You are reducing uncertainty about the person based on their reactions in the classroom or that first environment that you found them in. The second is disinhibition searching. I like this because it involves the person that you are trying to reduce uncertainty about. It puts them in a more real environment. Say, like the first environment you found them in was a classroom. I don't know about you. I'm not the same as I am in a classroom as I am possibly with my friends, just hanging out by myself. I don't think really anyone is. There's in different environments you act differently. So disinhibition, that kind of takes the inhibitions out of you yourself trying to, save face or just act a certain way. It puts you in a more relaxed, comfortable, natural environment. So there's no falsifiable filters to not reduce the uncertainty that you're trying to achieve. Moving on to active. Active, you're not quite there yet with the person you're observing. You go on to ask questions about them to someone that may know them or have interacted with them before. You ask, well, I've noticed this. They do this in class. You ask them maybe what type of person are they? What you ask the same person that poured you a cup of coffee, if they knew them, or that you knew them. What kind of coffee do they drink? Just anything you're going to that next step to interact with them that leads them to the interactive strategy. Interaction between one another, obviously. It has two subgroups as well, interrogation and self-disclosure. Interrogation, you're just simply asking questions. You and the other individual you've been observing are together now, you are interacting, and you ask them a question to see what type of person they are. Just questions go back and forth. And the next one is self-disclosure. This is a little bit more passive-aggressive in a sense. You yourself, you self-disclose information about yourself to achieve in return an answer from them. So an example would be, oh, I just got back from the gym, man, I'm beat. And the person you're waiting for reciprocation to occur, the person then says, you're kind of waiting. They could possibly say, oh wow, that's good. Or what you're waiting for is the self-disclosure that you gave for them, possibly say, and find out if they live a fit and healthy lifestyle. And they say, oh yeah, I just had a really killer workout yesterday. I'm still sore. And so with that self-disclosure, you achieve more reduction in uncertainty. URT has 8 axioms and 28 theorems. The 8 axioms kind of represent the sort of laws, the structure organizing URT. And the 28 theorems are made up of the 8 axioms. So a simple math formula would be axiom 1 plus axiom 2 equals theorem 1. So Berger went on to do this with everyone. Axiom 1 plus axiom 3 equals theorem 2, and so on and so forth. I had a couple biblical examples. One would be David and Bathsheba. That one's a little, I think, a little more complicated, but it starts out at the beginning with him just observing her. There's sort of 2 examples. It starts out at that end, but I'll cover the latter end whenever he sends Uriah to the forefront, and he tells them, but before he does, he tells him to go to lay with his wife, because David slept with her and impregnated her, and he kind of wants Uriah to go, so to cover it up, the public would think that Uriah did what he should have done, and he's a husband and wife there, and to have a baby. So Uriah did not do that, and so David he sent him there to reduce uncertainty about his kingship being, in dire straits. So I thought that was a unique example. So that goes on. You can kind of deduce it yourself by going into the passive and active interactive stages. Get into the New Testament with Nicodemus and Jesus. Nicodemus was a Pharisee. I'm sure it's not written, but scholars learned that he was a Pharisee, and so the Pharisees they observed Jesus from a distance, and just to see who this guy was, before they interacted with him. So I'm sure Nicodemus is like other Pharisees, observing Jesus from afar, just kind of learning, see what he's doing. Then they witness miracles, seeing how he's going with that. Moving on, he moves on to the active stage. I'm sure it does not mention this, but I'm sure he asked possibly his other Pharisees who what's Jesus, or maybe someone came to him, many people that got healed, even though Jesus told them not to tell. They would go and tell people, and so then I could see Nicodemus asking, well, what did he do? What did he touch you? Did he how did he heal you? Oh, it's very miraculous healing. And so I'm sure this went on, and then that brought them to the Bible story, which is the interactive stage when Nicodemus is asking Jesus. He was asking him then about heaven and entering it, and then Jesus talks to him about spiritual rebirth. And so that interaction was really, really awesome. And so I think that's another good example, New Testament example. Furthering Berger's research is anxiety and uncertainty management theory. And that is brought to you by William Goodekindst in 1985. He just extended Berger's work a little bit. You have all this uncertainty, but Goodekindst went in to manage it. It's really what the theory explains. And so he says the less a person knows and the more anxious they are, then the less effective they will be in situations. Which I think in communications theory, I think that's a great statement, because that's what everybody really wants. There's a little criticism. People say that reduction of uncertainty is not always wanted, which I think that is a good case. An uncertain future may be more desirable. Ignorance could be bliss. And there wasn't much research done in ethnic, racial, or any dyadic study done in Berger's original study. But further mended and added from other groups. In conclusion, uncertainty reduction theory is at the forefront of interpersonal communication. Mention the strategies, the three strategies: passive, active, and interactive. The axioms, which hold the theory together. I think the biblical examples, and I'm sure you yourself could think of many more biblical examples, and just everyday life, really getting into it, and how AUM, or anxiety uncertainty management theory, adds to it. And I think that was a great addition with Gudekin's work. And just think for a little bit and think to yourself that how URT is in your life every day. And I think it'll make you a better communicator. And I really enjoyed doing the research on this. Thank you.